Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to see you. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I am here today on a Saturday night, just getting it crunk, just trying to be trying to be a little bit extra black today, trying to do my thing, and I hope that that's okay. And I wanted to talk about some of the stuff going on with this boycott. Right now, as you guys know, there is, or there was, at least on the 28th, there was supposed to be a boycott nationwide. I had no issue with the boycott. I supported the idea of the boycott for whatever reasons you were doing it. But I think that there's some nuance to the boycott that I think is worth discussing, right? There's a little bit there in terms of us kind of knowing like what was really going on and and just kind of asking like why are we boycotting and what does this mean, right? What does this mean? What is the goal? What are we hoping to accomplish? How do we benefit? What's going to be good for our community and otherwise? And so, anyway, as you come in, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And also, just a reminder every morning we do a free financial class in case you guys want to be a part of that. It's called Money in the Morning, and we meet every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And so, if you want to get an invitation, pull out your phone, text the word morning, the word MORNING to the number 87948. Text morning to the number 87948, and I will send you an invitation to this free class. You're going to really enjoy it. Now, give me a yes or no. How many of you are participating in the boycott? How many of you are standing 10 toes down? Didn't go shopping, didn't do, followed the instructions, right? There was an assignment. We weren't supposed to go out and shop anywhere and spend money anywhere on Friday, basically to make a point. It seems like a lot of this point has to do with DEI. A lot of companies are cutting their DEI programs, and that's been kind of a financial shock, a little bit of financial trauma for a lot of people. And if you're in that category, my heart goes out to you. And it also has to do with, I guess, this election of this guy named Donald Trump. And I think Al Sharpton kind of pushed the black community to do this boycott in response to companies getting rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. And so, if you want to know where I stand on the boycott, I'm all for it. I have nothing against it. I think it's definitely fine to do. I don't agree with Sharpton on everything, but this is one area where I have no reason to disagree. But I want to kind of lay in some nuances on this boycott, what this means, what this really does, and some questions that aren't really being asked by the media that are not going to really be discussed in public. I'm a Powernomics guy. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson, powernomics.com. That's where you'll get really great economic training on what our people need. And and one thing that comes up when I think about this from a Powernomics perspective is very simple. So why? Why? Why are we boycotting? Why are we in this situation in the first place? Why are we mad? What do we expect to get once the boycott's over? What is it that we're fighting for? What is the objective? What makes a better world? So here's one of the things that I want you to think about, and this is one of the critical assumptions behind this boycott. One of the critical assumptions behind the boycott is that if Donald Trump had not been elected president, the boycott would not be taking place. Give me a yes if you agree that if Donald Trump was not in the White House right now, Al Sharpton wouldn't be out, getting his perm nice and shiny, sending black folks out to boycott. Give me a yes if you agree with that statement. That if Donald Trump had not been elected, there'd be no boycott, there'd be no conversation, there'd be no outrage right now, right? Well, that right there is where I'm a little bit different. I think that you had reason to be outraged even before the election started. I think that even if Kamala or whomever had been elected, you'd still have plenty of reason to be outraged. And why is that? Well, because there are some stats that you can't deny in terms of the state of the black economy. Number one, black wealth is going down, not up. That should alarm you, no matter who's in the White House. Black children can't really read. I think about 12, 13% of black boys at the high school level can read at grade level. So this means your future husbands, fathers, leaders in your community are basically illiterate. You have a bunch of illiterate men and illiterate women that are supposed to be leading your community. It's really hard to pursue equality when you can't read, can't write, can't do math, don't have a skill, don't have a trade, don't know how to start a business. You're going to get slaughtered in the world of economic warfare. Now, I say this as a finance professor. For those that are new, that's my background. In case you don't know, I am a financial academic, and I can tell you as a person who studies economics and how money works and who has money and why, and how money is power and how money drives things. I can tell you that if your young people are not ready for the future, you will get absolutely slaughtered financially. And I think that for Black people, for African Americans, we have to really reconsider who's educating our kids and why are we letting them do that, right? What else? There's other stats I could go into in terms of what's going on with our families. I think 59% of Black women have kids with multiple fathers, which means that most Black men have multiple babies mamas. You can't build wealth in a nation full of babies mamas and baby daddies. You can't. You can't. You have to get your families together if your wealth is going to grow. I know that this is not politically correct. I know everyone wants you to think everything's okay and that we're shaming people and all that. I'm not trying to shame nobody. I'm just giving you the facts. Don't blame me for shaming you. Blame the facts. Blame life. Blame reality. Reality says that every study I show you will show you that communities that don't have strong families are not going to build wealth. So here's my point. When I look at the boycott, I don't see anything wrong with the boycott, but the boycott to me is like it's like giving aspirin to a cancer patient and thinking that that's going to make the cancer go away. You got a stage 4 cancer patient who's about to die, whose body's an absolute mess, and they've been eating the worst food. They haven't exercised in 20 years. They smoke 10 packs of cigarettes a day, drink a gallon of whiskey every day, and they come in and you give them an aspirin and you say, take this aspirin, you'll feel better. Or smoke a little bit of crack and that's going to make you feel better. That's not going to heal the patient. The Black community in our economics, we are that patient. And I would love to be one of the doctors that helps to heal this. And I can tell you, as a person who understands financial science, I can tell you that you have financial cancers that are not going to be solved with an aspirin. And Al Sharpton boycott will not, I repeat, it will not do much of anything to improve the economic condition of the Black community. What an Al Sharpton boycott does is basically it fulfills his obligation to to do work on behalf of the Democratic Party to make race into a Democrat Republican thing. They want to occupy racial stuff. They want to occupy the racial issue, right? They want to kind of colonialize it and say, hey, if you are Black and you're a Democrat, then you're okay. If you're Black and you're Republican, then you're a sellout. If a racist says something bad and he's a Republican, then it's terrible. If a Democrat says something racist, then it's okay because those are our friends. And I just don't agree with that. I think racism is racism, no matter what political affiliation you have. Now, let's talk about this boycott a little bit more deeply, and I want to kind of lay it out for you a little bit in ways to kind of sort of think about this. You got to really think about what this boycott's really doing, right? What the boycott really says is that the assumption, the fundamental assumption, and the default state of things is we're going to give you all of our money. We're going to buy from you like crazy because we're Black and we're trained to consume from white people and buy their stuff every single day of the week. They don't buy anything from us, right? They boycott, you boycott them one day out of the year. They boycott you 365 days out of the year. Give me a yes if you understand this. That everybody boycotts Black-owned businesses every single day of the year, including Black people. So as much as you as hard as it was for you to boycott white-owned businesses for one day, you got to realize many of you are already boycotting Black-owned businesses for 365 days out of the year. So it's much harder for you to boycott Massa's business than it is for you to boycott your own. That's pretty much what you do, and they boycott you every single day of the year. So really, in my view, the first assumption of a boycott should be, I'm going to boycott you as much as you boycott me. You boycott me 365 days out of the year. I'm gonna boycott you 366 days out of the year, hoping that it's a leap year. Just in case it's a leap year, I'm gonna make sure that you're not getting any of my money. I'm gonna treat you the same way you treat me, and I think that would be something more akin to equality. So a one day boycott. What a one day boycott says is that basically 364 days out of the year, the Black community is our economic bitch. That basically we own the Black community. We get all of our money and we get 99% of your money. So not 364 days out of the year, you're coming to our stores, buying our stuff, giving us your money every day. And then what you're doing right now is because you've got a guy with a perm up in New York who told you to do this because you're mad about the Republicans getting elected. Now you're going to boycott us for a day. Ouch, that hurt. It was like a mosquito bite. But guess what? After that day's over, you're gonna go back and go shopping again. Some of y'all went shopping at those stores and stocked up on supplies just to get ready for the boycott. You said I can't go shop at Target on Friday, so I got to go on Thursday instead, and I'm a double shop on Thursday just so I can make sure I don't shop on Friday, just so we can hopefully make our point. I don't know if that's gonna get you anywhere in this game. I'm not shaming you for shopping at Target. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just telling you the facts. I'm telling you from just an honest, direct standpoint that I don't see where not shopping at Target for one day out of the year is really going to change anything. And it wasn't just Target. I guess it was all the stores, right? We were supposed to boycott. So because you got to start with the assumptions and the expectation. You got to start with the default state and the expected state. The default state, meaning like what happens on a regular day when there is no boycott, when Al Sharpton's not mad, when the Republicans didn't get elected. On a regular day, you're giving 98%, 99% of your wealth to businesses that are owned by other people. That's the default state. The expectation is that because I'm upset with you, I'm going to go on strike. I'm now going to take away all the money I'm giving you. Normally, I'm making it rain on your businesses. I'm giving you millions of dollars a day. But now we're going to take one day where we're going to take that back just to make a point to you. Now, there's no sort of condition to say that the boycott ends once you change your behavior. None of that, right? It's just like we're just going to do this one day and then we're going to go right back to where we were before. So the expectation is that either once the boycott's over or once you change your behavior, I'm going to go right back to giving you all my money in the first place. That is a losing game, people. That is a loser's game. That is a game where the only guarantee in that game is that black people are going to lose economically the way you've been losing up until this point. See, even before the Republicans got elected, you were losing when it came to wealth. Give me a yes if you understand this. Before all this happened, you were already losing. Now you're just losing a lot more. So you're kind of saying, okay, we're going to try to take this little stand. We're looking like Volodymyr Zelensky trying to negotiate with Donald Trump, knowing that Ukraine has no cards and that basically he's got no legs to stand on. So to some extent, this is kind of what we're doing. I personally think that a better negotiation would be one where we go in a different direction with different default states, different assumptions, and different expectations. So let's think of it like this. Let's think of it like this. When you boycott that business, in a way, it's kind of like you're going on strike, right? It's like, look, I'm giving you something every day. I'm giving you my money every day. I'm giving you a few $100s of my family's money every day. Now I'm gonna stop. I'm going on strike. So just like on your job, I work for you every day. Every day I pour into you. Every day I'm building your business for you. Now I'm going on strike because I need you to treat me better. And then once you treat me better, or the strike is over, I'm going to come back and we're going to go back to the way things were. Well, imagine if instead of going on strike at your job, what if you didn't work for that company at all? What if you ran your own business? What if you worked for somebody else? What if you were already in your default state, already disconnected and already pouring into something that was actually yours instead of your default state being that you were pouring into their business? Tell me if you're following me on this. I don't want to talk over anybody's head, but I know you all are intelligent people, so I hope you'll at least hear me. You don't have to agree with me. I just let me know if you can at least hear what I'm saying here. So imagine if your default state is I don't even work for you. So me going on strike would not make any sense because I'm not your damn employee. I'm not your worker bee. I'm not pouring into you. I'm pouring into me. Everything I would have been giving you, all those tens of thousands of hours I would have been pouring into your business, well, I can't take that away from you because you never got it. I wasn't giving it to you in the first place. Imagine if that was where we started the negotiation, right? If you start the negotiation by saying, I already serve you, I give to you, I give you everything. Now I'm gonna pull back a little bit because I'm mad. How about the default? How about we change the default state, change the default assumption, have a little bit of economic self-esteem and say, look, it don't matter if I go on strike because I don't work for you anyway. It doesn't matter if I boycott your business because you wasn't getting my money in the first place. I wasn't giving to your business. I was supporting black-owned businesses. I was supporting my family's business. I'm not buying from you because I'm buying from my cousin, right? If you start the negotiation in a better position, then you've got a lot more leverage than if you start the negotiation from a position of weakness and just perpetual sacrifice on behalf of your slave masters. Do you understand? when you start off super weak and you start off giving everything away already, and you're already pouring your blood, sweat, and tears and all your money into other people's businesses, then it kind of looks silly to when you kind of do the boycott and think this is really actually going to give you anything worth having. Sure, it might help you negotiate an already abusive situation, but really you should probably start from a different set of assumptions from the very beginning, right? Instead of saying to your partner who's beating your ass every day, hey, I'm not going to cook dinner tonight because I need you to stop beating me so much. How about you just say, we're not even together anymore. So in order for you to get my attention, you're going to have to be nice to me. You're going to have to earn my love instead of assuming that you're going to have my love. See, this is important. I need y'all to follow this point. This is one of the things that's always bothered me. I always thought it was so crazy that every election, when people say, "Well, Dr. Boyce, who are you going to vote for?" and I say, "Well, I'm not voting for the Democrats or the Republicans," and they say, "Oh, you're a Republican," and I say, "No, but I just told you I'm not voting for the Democrats or the Republicans. How am I a Republican if I don't vote for the Republicans? To be a Republican, I gotta go and vote for the Republicans, right? Well, you're a Republican. Well, why am I a Why would you call me a Republican if I just sat and told you 10 times I've never voted for a Republican in my life? I get it. I know why you call me a Republican. It's because of your default state assumption. Your default state assumption is that, tell me if you follow me on this. Your default state assumption is that because I'm a black man in America, I have to vote for the Democrats. That because I'm black, I owe the Democrat my vote. They don't got to do nothing for me. They don't have to promise me nothing. They don't have to make any commitments. They don't have to impress me at all. They own me like I'm a piece of damn cattle. And I've always rejected that. And I didn't care what people thought. It didn't matter to me. I've lost friends over this. And they only get mad at me because they know that I'm right. That's why they get mad. They know that I'm smarter than they are, and they know that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong for who you vote for. I told you, your vote is your vote, but my vote is my vote. So don't you ever damn tell me that I owe you nothing. I don't owe Target nothing. I don't owe the employers nothing. I don't owe the Democrats nothing or the Republicans. And here's the thing. What's interesting to me is to process this. Think about this. This is real deep. Did anybody ever notice? Tell me if you've noticed this. Do you know that most black children, about 90% of all black children are raised under the assumption that at some point you're gonna serve a white man. You're gonna work for a white man at some point. When you grow up, and this is what you're told, you got to know how to behave, you got to know how to dress, you got to know how to talk, you got to know how to act at work, right? Because you know, around the dinner table, the assumption is at some point as a black person, tell me if anybody else grew up like this, you're gonna end up working for white people, right? Like you have people that say, well, HBCUs, going to an HBCU, that's not realistic because you're gonna have to deal with white people because eventually gonna have to work around white people and work with white. Anybody ever notice that? And now I want to ask y'all this question. This is a question you may have never heard anywhere, but tell me this. Do 90% of all white boys grow up under the assumption that they're gonna have to work for a black man or a black woman? Do white people get raised under the same assumption? Does every white person, every Asian person, every Jewish person get raised under the assumption, well, you better be nice to black people. You better learn black culture. You better learn some black history because one day you're going to have to work for a black person. You got to be able to impress them in order to keep your job. Does anybody else go through that other than us? Does anybody else go through that other than us? So this takes us back to the point I'm making tonight. The default state assumption. What is the assumption underlying the whole conversation? See, a lot of people will play the game, but not even take a moment to think about, well, how is this game even structured in the first place? This game is designed for me to lose. The best that'll happen in this game is that I'm not going to lose as much as I was going to lose before. But either way, this whole boycott to me was a problem because I'm sitting there thinking, well, wait, so I'm boycotting you and I'm taking away a little bit of the money that I'm already giving you, which makes the assumption that the way that the default state of things is that I'm supposed to be giving you everything in the first place. I don't think I'm supposed to be giving you shit. I don't think my assumption is zero. How about I'm spending so much time pouring into my business that I'm not even thinking about your business. How about I'm not boycotting you because I wasn't giving you no money in the first place. How about instead of thinking about what white folks are doing and how we can boycott white folks, how about we think about what black folks are doing and how we can support our own? That's what we do. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. You know, all this energy put into like, well, we're not gonna shop with you anymore. Well, that's a given. That's an assumption. Yeah, I'm not shopping with you. Now what? Right? Like, and you're not gonna get my business because I want to give my money to people that love me anyway. You don't really love me that much. You don't treat me that well. Our community's struggling economically. We're not building any wealth. All y'all HBCUs need to start producing more entrepreneurs instead of producing employees. That's why you don't have the donor base that you need. That's why you can't raise money the way you need to. It's because you're producing employees. You need to produce more business owners anyway. We also need to produce more young people with actual skilled trades that know how to do something. You can't just say, well, all I know how to do is fill out a job application and go to work every day. How about getting a skill, getting skills that let you start businesses? That's where the real money's at. How about we produce investors? How about DEI stands for development, entrepreneurship, and investment? That means we develop the kinds of young people that we want that will be economically independent. We develop entrepreneurs that can start the businesses that will create the jobs, and then we invest in those businesses. We invest in each other. We invest in ourselves. And if see the answer here, the key is love. If you put all your energy into loving yourself, you ain't got time to sit around and be mad at what nobody else is doing. You're not going to be thinking about boycotting and retaliation and your anger toward other people. If you're really pouring into you, you don't care what your haters are doing. You don't care what your adversaries are doing. You don't care what your competitors are doing. You don't care what nobody's doing because you focus on what you're doing right in front of you. Focus, pour into you, pour into you, pour into you. That's one of the reasons why I'm not real big. I don't really get into Democrat Republican stuff because I see that as like, okay, that's their stuff. They're going to fight back and forth in Capitol Hill over their stuff and do their thing. They're going to use us as pawns to get us involved in their little fights so that they can get power by aligning us like little soldiers. And people who know who they are not typically people that are easily enlisted in somebody else's army. People who know who they are people that already have an agenda before you come and try to make an agenda for them. Do you understand? Like people when they come along and they try to tell us this is the black agenda. We got to go get Trump out of office, or this is the black agenda. We got to go and do this and do that. Well, no, my belief is that we should have our own black agenda. It's almost like you go to somebody's house and you say, "Okay, here's what I got planned for you. I want you to cut my grass, wash my roof, and walk my dog." And some people might say, okay, sure, give me $20 and I'll do all that for you. But then somebody else might say, walk your own damn dog. I got a busy schedule. An important busy person is gonna say, I'm busy. What are you wash your roof? I ain't got time to be washing your roof. So instead of us serving and serving massa and driving Miss Daisy and carrying water for other people, I believe that self-esteem dictates that we should carry water for ourselves. We should carry water for our children. Instead of investing in other people's institutions, we should be building them ourselves, pouring into them ourselves. But when you do that, in order to do that, though, you've got to believe in how important you are. You've got to know that you're important. You got to know that your children, your community is the most important place you could be applying your energy. It's more important than that damn job at UPS. It's more important than that stupid degree you got at Brown University. It's more important than these stupid political parties. It's more important than any of that, right? So figure out what matters for you, pour into that, and then when you are filled with love for self and love for those around you and love for your culture, love for your people, love for your institutions, love for your family, and you're pouring that love into the things that matter to you, you won't even care. You won't even give a damn about a boycott. You're like, I got so much time. I'm spending so much energy loving on us and me that I ain't got time to be hating on you and mad at you and thinking about you. I ain't even thinking about you like that. So that's my belief. That's how I feel about this boycott. I'm not against it. I'd fine if you want to participate, you should, right? I put it up on my Twitter and Instagram. So I'm playing the game, right? So don't accuse me of being against the boycott, but I'm saying like stop boycotting yourself. Stop boycotting your family. Stop boycotting your children. Stop boycotting your own businesses because I guarantee you that if you just start supporting yourself as much as you support other people, then you will see your people rise. You will see your people rise. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm done. done. By the way, this podcast is on Spotify. So if you look up my name on Spotify, you can find my podcast. One's called the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. The other one's called Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market. One is all about the stock market because I want to show you where the wealth is at. I wrote my dissertation on the stock market, so I'd love to help you. And then the other one's just me doing all kinds of stuff. So if you can put up with me and you like some of this, then there's more where that came from. Also, tomorrow morning we meet for a financial consciousness class every morning, and I teach the art of financial consciousness and economic elevation. It's called Money in the Morning. So if you'd like to join that class for free, pull out your phone, text the word morning to the number 87948. You can text morning to 87948. And last but not least, I have a best-selling book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And everyone loves the book. The reviews are amazing on Amazon, thousands of five-star reviews. So I know you guys like it. It's a blueprint for any family that wants to build generational wealth. You can actually get those copies. I'll sign it for you. I'll send you an autographed copy for just $8. You pay the shipping and $8, and I'll send you the book. And I know thousands of you will order copies, so I know that you're happy about this, and I don't mind signing the books. So if you'd like to do that and even turn it into a business, you can buy a bunch, give them away if you want. You can resell them. I'm totally fine with that. Start a book club, start an investment club. Each one teach one. We must teach our own. We must educate ourselves. We must educate each other. We can do this. Can't nobody stop us. We should not be afraid of anybody. So if you are in it if to win it and this is your thing, then I'd love to help you and partner with you. So I will sell you this book for $8. You can resell it for 30 or 40. It's got my autograph in it. My autograph means a little something, something. I go to different cities and people know who I am. So apparently my autograph means something. So if you'd like to get copies of this book at the discounted price, you can go to 10commandments.boycewatkins.com. That's the number 10, 10commandments.boycewatkins.com. Buy as many copies as you want. I will sign them. Our middle child, who the poor thing, she runs our store. She's going crazy right now because thousands of orders have come in. But she will ship it to you, and you can make it into a little business. And that way, you're benefiting, you're making money, you're also educating the community. We need to build Black-centered schools all across this country. We need to have little educational hubs everywhere. We need to educate our people on economics at the highest levels. I'm tired of us being in last place. I'm tired of us bowing to Jewish people and white people and Asian people, and I'm tired of us just getting dead last. I hate it. It drives me crazy. We're supposed to be at the top, not the bottom. That's not what we represent. We represent the top. So I want to. This is what I want. This is really. This is the thing that keeps me up at night. This is my passion. This is what I believe, and so I'd love to help you. The book is a simple framework. There's been no book written like this in history. Nobody's written this book. This had to be written by a PhD because I had to really think through these things over 20 years, and it's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, and it's a great read. I think your children should read it, and I guarantee you, your kids read this book and internalize even half of those ideas. Your generational wealth will go up tenfold in the next 1 or 2 generations. I guarantee it. So feel free to go to 10commandments.boycewatkins.com, and you can get as many copies as you want, give them away, sell them, whatever you want to do. I support you completely, and I'd love for you to make money in the process. So have a good day, everybody. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.